Hey guys, BreadGod Gaming here. Hope you're having a good day. This video follows Thor, who uses his amazing charisma to create the Empire of Scandinavia in 6 years. This run is done without DLC. I'm going to start in 867 and play as a custom ruler. I'm going to replace Bjorn Ironside of Upland. This is Thor Odinson. We're going to be a Satru, Norse. We're going to be 47 years old with the level 5 diplomacy education to improve vassalization acceptance. For diplomacy, I need individual rulers to love me, so I also go for diplomat with 23 opinion. I also include one-eyed, brave, vengeful, and wrathful as virtues, which also give a total of 37 opinion. I include strong so I can live a little longer, and I have flagellant and disloyal to reduce my point cost. I put 10 levels into diplomacy and the rest of the points into martial. My full stat breakdown is here. We're going to start with our character here. We have default game rules. My diplomacy strategy evolves around vassalizing my neighbors. If I check him here, he loves us because of the traits we picked. If I right click him, we'll see the offer vassalage. Right now it's a little glitched. If you see this weird thing with military strength, just pass about a month of time and it should go away. Let's do a few things to set ourselves up. First, I'm going to check myself. I'm going to find a spouse. I'm going to look for someone who has an inheritable trait. Although Saga might be a good choice because I get an alliance with Halfdan. She's actually homosexual, and so I can't romance her. I need someone who's heterosexual. I want someone hetero so I can romance them for prestige. I'm gonna look for someone with the highest level trait. Scrolling down, I think I'll marry this 21-year-old with the intelligent trait. For perks, we're gonna go diplomacy tree. I'm gonna pick the majesty focus. This will give a +1 prestige income, which is useful to pay for our troops. Then with the 10 points we spawned with, I'm going to go all the way down for True Ruler, which gives more vassalization acceptance. Then I'll go down to Life of Glory to double the fame impact. Level of Fame gives opinion and knights, and this perk will double those values. For the other 3 points, I'm going to go for Thoughtful. I'm going to go for Defensive Negotiations, which gives 15 more independent opinion, and Ducal Conquest to reduce the title creation cost. If we check our current situation tab, it'll tell us that we can create some titles. I'm going to actually do that. I'm going to create one of these titles so I could get the prestige. This also helps us in forming the kingdom title, which I only need one more county and just some more gold. With the prestige, I'm going to go to the military and I'm going to create some Huskarls. Huskarls are the best men-at-arms for Norse Vikings without the Northern Lord DLC, and we see they cost prestige to create and upkeep. I'm going to increase their size to the maximum that I can. I will also station my troops. I can station 1 regiment per county I own. As we level the buildings inside, they'll get stronger bonuses. Then I'm going to go to my council. I'm going to change my steward's task from collecting taxes to development because the taxes is only a small percent and doesn't matter right now. But development is a better long-term investment, so I'm going to change the development of Upland. I'm also going to have my Bishop fabricated claim on this county of Avenanma. I eventually want to take this title back and also check our culture, and we start as the head of culture. And for innovations, if you're going to conquer a lot, especially if you're going to go for these European and feudal lands to have castles, you want to pick the onager men-at-arms. That way your wars can go faster, otherwise your sieges will take forever. If you're not going to conquer Europe or feudal areas and continue pushing east for more tribal areas, then you can go Mots in order to upgrade your buildings. Then you can go crop rotation for economic buildings, and then ledger for another building slot, and then city planning to build some extra buildings, and then everything else doesn't matter. You'll see it's going to take a long time because our development is so low, so that's why I want to increase my development as much as I can. Now I'm going to pass a month about. I'm going to watch this chieftain to see when this glitch goes away. Once I am married, I'm going to immediately start romancing my wife. So a few days have passed and now you see this is available. That glitch has gone away. And so this is the crux of the build here, is I can just offer him vassalage and he'll join my Cool Kids Club. If you check the current situation tab, it will also let you know if anyone can be vassalized. So in the beginning, you'll always have this open. So let's get these guys to join us. If we check a county that's further away, you'll see when we offer him vassalage, we get -100 for his realm being far away from us, and also -80 because we are a different faith. So this method works the best if you have an entire region with the same religion, which Norway, Sweden, and Denmark are all Norse and Asatru. So as these invitations are going to come in, we need 70 more gold. So I'm actually going to just pass a few days until I get a bit of Husker rolls to reinforce. There's the first stack, and that should be enough. I'm going to raise everyone as raiders, and I'm going to come and raid the Barony of Norwich. So as they are coming to raid, I'm going to keep this situation tab open. You'll see people keep wanting to join as our realm expands over here. If I pass a little more time, these people have joined. Once he has joined, now we are bordering this guy here, and we can see they also want to join us as well. So we accept all their requests. And it's almost non-stop where these guys want to join us. That's how charismatic we are. And our raiders have just left, and yet we've already taken over a big chunk of land. People are still joining as time is passing. My raiders still haven't reached it yet I still am getting these requests. My raiders are finally here. We're able to defeat East Anglia's little army. That nets us some free prestige and piety. We're going to raid that. Then we're going to come raid further down. I still have people who want to join me. We only need 150 gold. And I also am waiting to see if I get anyone to ransom here. I'm going to come into Wessex as well. Although their military could give us a little threat, they're too busy fighting wars. If you wanted another location to raid, you can also raid Gloucester, which usually has a lot of gold because it has a special mine here. So once I have enough gold, I'm going to come back into my mainland here. I still want to keep this page up in case someone else wants to join. The only ones that haven't joined are these Jarls down here, and that's because we don't outrank them yet. Our romance is almost succeeded, so let's see if we win. It looks like we succeeded, so I got some prestige. That's always nice. So my raiders came back with the gold and prestige. I can now create a kingdom title. I'll go for the Kingdom of Sweden. With the Kingdom of Sweden, I'm now a mighty king, and now you'll see there are more requests to join. Sometimes these realms might be at war, and then you have to wait for their war to complete before you can vassalize them. So let's get these Jarls to join our club here. Pass a few more days here. If you get this grant vassals to rightful liege, you always want to do that so that everyone is happy. We can manually check this Jarl here to see if he wants to join. It's a little glitched though, so just pass a little time and you'll see he's now happy to join us. Let's check Jutland here to see if he wants to join. He does. And just like that, I've collected all the lands for Sweden, Norway, and Denmark, and my army is pretty big right now, although it's mostly peasants right now. If we check the other rulers of Scandinavia, we'll see that because of the religion difference, he won't join us. So now our goal is to get enough piety in order to convert our own religion so that they will be willing to join. In the meantime, I'm going to raid for gold and also get up my prestige so I can form up my men-at-arms. Tribal rulers use prestige to create their men-at-arms and maintain them. And this is why they are so strong early game, because they don't need gold. And prestige can always go negative without big penalties. So I'm going to increase my Husker size. I'm going to create another regiment of them actually and increase that size up to the max. I'm going to pass a bit of time just so they can reinforce to their full strength. All right, we got a daughter, so she's my heir. All right, our men-at-arms are fully formed. I'm going to raise everyone as a raider. I'm going to stack them all up into one area and combine them. I'm actually going to lead it because I want to get the Viking trait, and to get the trait I have to lead raids. Since our army is a little stronger, we can see if we can raid Wessex or France. We can actually raid France if we would like to. So let's come and raid Paris. If you see France's army forming, you can always go across the water to this barony afterwards. If we're quick enough, we'll be in prime position. If I have a Reaver commander, I can use him to increase my raiding speed. I don't, but that's okay. We'll see if we succeed in positioning better or not. Let's check our diplomacy. I'm going to go for August. This will give us more prestige. Let's do that. So we made it across the bridge. It says that we might lose. Let me just change into a stronger commander. We should be able to defeat them. All right, and we were able to defeat them. When your army size is bigger than theirs, they might not want to fight you anymore. So for now, let's change back to me. I'm going to raid up the coast here. I'm going to see what kind of situation I have. I can transfer someone. I'll do that. Someone is missing on my council. Let me fix that. Let me also fix my powerful vassals. Let me get this guy. It's okay if his intrigue's low. Everyone loves us, so we shouldn't be the target of murder. I also know the king is not going to fight me because if I click on him, when you see that little bar down there, that means that he has disbanded his troops and now they are replenishing to full strength. My current situation tab actually blocked my vision, but he did raise his army when his numbers were higher than mine, but his tactical judgment would prove to be wrong. I still haven't gotten any ransom, but that's okay. He's coming back. You can always change your commander to your strongest commander for the fight, and once the fight is over, we can change back to ourselves and finish the raid and get the credit there. And then these last counties here usually have a good amount of gold. Lotharingia wants some too, so we can meet over here maybe. I will change my commander. He's also crossing this strait here, which is going to give us a big advantage, so we'll probably demolish him. And so we've destroyed him. We finally got our first prisoner and we can finally ransom him. So half of the money in raiding is actually in the prisoners and the other half is from raiding. So we basically have enough loot. I'm going to come back. I have a lot of prestige so I can do a few things. They've delivered all the loot. I'm going to disband them. I'm going to increase the size of this Huskarl regiment and I'll create a new one. And same thing, I'm going to increase it as much as I can. All right. And we may not have to go on a pilgrimage. Let me check if I could just convert without a pilgrimage, which I can. So I'm going to do that. So I'm now Ukonosko. And if we check him again, we see that penalty's gone. We just need him to like us a little bit more. I'll check my current situation here. Nothing there. I'm going to come here and check on this guy. He's almost willing to join. The two easiest things to change will be the powerful vassal opinion and also his opinion of us. The maximum opinion of us is 35. So there's still 11 I could get from opinion. I can either sway him over time, which is slow, not recommended, or you can just send him a gift. We get a massive opinion because we have high diplomacy, but also because of the thoughtful perk. And the gold cost is not that much. So this is a very easy way to maximize it. To save myself some gold, let me just check my council. Let's see who I can make happier. Let's see why he's unhappy. He didn't convert with us. Instead of spending it on him, let's spend it on Snake in the Eye here. So if I give him 37 gold, he's going to love me. And I can also do that with this powerful vassal here for a small amount of gold. Now that opinion should be a lot improved and you see he is willing. And if we check, we're now at plus 17. Because I did it this way, every other person that I go to will also have that increased powerful vassal opinion. But let's pass a little bit of time. He's joined our club. Let's check the situation. Nothing's there, so let's manually check. So it's still a little glitched, you see. Let's pass a little more time. He's still unwilling by a little bit. This guy is willing over here. So for this guy, we could definitely vassalize him once our strength increases. We can just wait a bit to save our gold, or I could send him gold immediately. Let's just wait since I don't need to. So he's joined us. Let's check this guy over here. You see, we can't vassalize him because he's at war. So we have to wait until the war is done. And that's both of these guys there. Let's check this guy. A little glitch still. All right, pass a little time, and now we're good. Vassalize him, vassalize the other guy. Excellent, excellent. Let's check this guy here. He's willing to join. Pass a little bit of time. He's in our tribe. And now comes this slightly harder part for Finland here. If we try to vassalize these guys, there's also another minus 20 isolationist penalty. So we're going to have to really work hard for them. So I don't have that much wiggle room to outset this. So I might have to just conquer him. Thankfully, if you conquer his duchy, it'll take the entire piece. In order to conquer duchy, I need to be illustrious rank, so I can continue raiding, or I can just create some more titles. I'm going to first check the other side to see what this guy says. So this guy is almost willing to join. I'm willing to give him a little bit of gold and force him to join us. And if I check the Kingdom of Finland title, he's joined us and now we're 4 out of 10. Once we form this title of Finland, if we check the vassalage, you'll see it says minus 20 for not being the right liege. That will actually flip to a plus 20. So we can also finish them off by getting that title. So let's see if his other neighbors want to join. He has the distant realm penalty. Pass a little time and he should be willing to join. How about you, sir? So he's unwilling to join as well. Let's see if we're almost there. Pass a little bit of time. So we're only 1 county away. This guy definitely doesn't want to join still. This guy also doesn't want to really join right now. So instead, I'm going to conquer one of these guys and then create the title to finish them off. Here, let's see if the war's ended. It's ended, so we can see they are willing to join now. Let's transfer this guy. Let's see if he wants to join. He still doesn't. I need just above 1,000 prestige to become illustrious. What I'll do is I'm actually going to create some titles. So I could go for the kingdom titles, but for 150 gold, we only get 400 prestige versus creating a duchy title. We'll get 75 gold and 300. So these are better bang for buck for getting prestige. An advantage of waiting, however, is that maybe once my heir takes over, I can still use the gold to create these duchy titles and he can rapidly increase his own prestige. So you can also save the duchies for your heirs to create. While we're really strong, we can just focus on creating the kingdom titles. So I'm going to just do that. I'm going to create Norway. I'm going to create Denmark. I need just one more gold for Sapmi. So I'm just going to pass about a month of time. And there's enough gold for Sapmi. We're going to get that title as well. And because I have the Kingdom of Sapmi title, you'll see I have everyone here is willing to join us. And if we right click him, and we'll see we got a big bonus because we have the kingdom title. So he should rightfully belong to us. So let's vassalize everyone here. And we can even check our progress afterwards on the empire title. So we are there. We just need the gold. So instead of needing to get the Kingdom of Finland title, I could even skip to the empire title, which will also count as being the rightful liege. So let's get some more gold. This time, however, I'm going to set my rally here. I'm going to raise my men-at-arms, and then I'm going to separately raise my peasants. I'm only going to summon about 1,000 peasants. Once they're ready, I can either click Stop Gathering, or I can hold Control and right click, and the groups that are outside of that zone will automatically stop gathering. Now I'm just going to wait for this army to gather. So now that the men-at-arms have gathered, let's collect everyone together. And I don't want the full strength because I want fights, since fights give more prestige. And before we leave, let's click this to start raiding. Otherwise, it will not be a raiding army. Let's check to see if Paris is ready. It's not, but that's okay. I'm actually going to come and raid this city right here. Educate my daughter in stewardship. I'm going to be on the lookout for the enemy. There he is right there. So because he's over there, he has to cross his bridge. And since this is not a castle, he will not get his defensive advantage. So I can actually stay put right here until he comes to me. Let me double check that it's the strongest commander. It's not. I'm going to first click myself so I could get this credit. All right, I got credit for the raid. Let's put it to my strongest guy. And now we just wait for him to come over. He thinks that this is going to be a close battle, but if you see again, we're defending in the wetlands and we're defending a major river crossing. So we should really destroy him. And we have a massive 40 advantage, which is 80% more damage. Because of that nice victory, we got a lot of prestige and piety. I'm going to switch back to myself, and I'm going to raid down this side of the coast. I got a claim on Avanhama. I'm going to wait for a second because I need gold right now. When we get raiding events, I usually pick the development choice, which is the first one. But since we need gold right now, I'll get the second choice for 30 gold. All right, and now I'm going to go to Gloucester for that big amount of gold. Cool. Let's see if Wessex is strong. They are not, so he's probably not going to fight me. I'm going to come over to these castles here. There's an army here, and so I should be able to handily defeat him. So after I raid here, I'm just going to attack him. All right, we definitely destroyed him, and so that was just a free amount of prestige. Let's change back to ourselves. If you also want to know which is the best counties to raid, if you click on the ruler here, you'll see where his vassals' capitals are with these little lines that are being drawn to him. And so we're actually on a vassal's capital. Hopefully we capture him or his family. So let's see if we do that. We did capture someone, but I don't know if he's worthwhile. He's not. You can check to see where the other capitals are. We don't have much room left, so that's why I'm going for more strategic raiding. They're going to be busy sieging, so I won't be able to raid it, so I'm over to this one. I didn't capture anyone, but we have enough gold to come home. I also naturally got enough gold anyways. So if I create the Empire of Scandinavia, then I will now be able to vassalize them. We'll see that it's now flipped to +20 as rightful liege. And this guy should be willing to join as well, and this guy. And so by the time I get home, within 6 years, I'm the emperor of all of Scandinavia. If we check our vassals, most of them are pretty happy. This guy's not happy because he wants the transfer, so I'll do that. We even can vassalize someone else. This guy is outside of the Empire of Scandinavia. He's actually out here in Russia, and he's willing to join because we're the same religion. We also got one more diplomacy perk. I'm going to wait to get groomed to rule until I get a son. Me personally, I'm going to go for a learning lifestyle now, and I'm going to go for the scholarship focus to improve my development. From here, I can do multiple things. Here are just a few ideas I can do all of or a mix of. I can continue vassalizing. So remember, we can go to areas with the same religion. So I can go down here into this area of Russia, If we check this guy here, we just need to do a few things for him to join us. For a king, he won't be willing to join because the biggest thing is there's a minus 200 penalty. Thankfully, he's really the only king in the area, so we can actually go declare war and invade his kingdom to take him out. Once you have taken him out, then there are just duchies over here, and he's the Slavianska faith. And if we sort by religion, this entire region is the Slavianskan faith. If we right click him, you actually see that if we weren't a different faith and also close to him, he would actually be pretty willing to join. If we just get a little more opinion, then we would be able to vassalize him and probably most of his neighbors as well. So you can almost take over this entire area because most of them are only dukes or counts. We can also continue going east and even subjugate this Kagan to take over this entire empire. And because everyone out here is also tribal, you see that again, if it didn't have this 540 penalty, he would actually be pretty willing to join almost. And you can go all the way as far east as you can. You can also continue going west. And because some people here are already a Satru, if you check the vassalage here, you'll see that if we were just next to him in a Satru faith, he would be willing to join us. So to get into range, you can easily conquer a duchy over here and then start vassalizing Ivar the Boneless here and then get the rest of his brothers to join you as well. Once you get the Asatruans here, you can even convert to Catholicism to try to vassalize the guys over here. If you have trouble with these two guys here, you can always go further west and you could try to vassalize these guys here. You can see it's a lot easier if we were close to him and their faith, we would be positive, versus if we try to vassalize someone who's feudal, there's this minus 20 opinion here. Although it says you are not tribal, it actually is because we're tribal and they are feudal. So you can easily vassalize all of Ireland and then you can form the Empire of Britannia. And because you have that high level title, these guys would now be willing to join based on the rightful liege. And even more so, if you see that the kingdoms here have exploded into multiple duchies, like they sometimes do, you can actually definitely go to Catholicism and then start vassalizing everyone here before your super diplomat life runs out. Again, this is all hinging on the fact that you have the level 5 education trait, so make use of Thor's life while you can. I have a follow-up video where I spend the rest of Thor's life using this vassalizing tactic to create this sprawling empire. You can check that out on my channel. If you don't want to vassalize, we can convert back to Asatru or whatever religion you prefer, and then you can attempt to take over Europe. Asatru or a Ukonosku is good because for this Ukonosko religion, we have already 3 holy sites within Scandinavia, so we can definitely reform the faith as long as we have the piety. Versus for Asatru, one easy one to get is definitely Jorvik over here. If we just conquer and take over or vassalize Jorvik, then we can also reform Asatru. Once you get your ideal religion, then you can take over Europe. I personally would start with the Kingdom of Italy and just invade this kingdom. That way you can slowly get to the decision to dismantle the papacy. This requires you to take over Italia, which if you click on the text here, it'll highlight what you need to take over, which is this entire region here. Once you do that, dismantling the papacy makes it so that the Pope converts to your religion and there can be no more crusades called. So the biggest threat to your existence, which is crusades, will be over. I usually take over Italy and then the surrounding pieces first before taking Rome, because if I take over Rome, then it will immediately enable them to go on a crusade. However, that's also okay, because even if you take over Rome and they go on a crusade and you lose it, there's a 30-year cooldown between crusades, and so you have enough time to usually just take it back before the next crusade. The reason why we want to reform our religion is unreformed religions do not have access to holy wars, and you want holy wars because you only get 1 kingdom invasion per lifetime, but you also get 1 holy war kingdom invasion per lifetime as well. Even better, if you're going to war a lot, go to your culture and click on established tradition. If we go to ritual, if you get enough prestige, you can establish by the sword, which will make it so that there's no limit to kingdom level holy wars. So once you reform your religion and you establish this culture, which normally takes quite a few years, you will be able to rapidly conquer all of Europe through multiple holy wars. If you don't want to continue being a warmonger, you can also stay at peace. We can decide to develop Scandinavia into a technological capital, and the best way to do that is to become feudal. In order to become feudal, we take this adopt feudal decision. We need absolute tribal authority, which you'll have to increase over the years. We also need our faith to be organized, so another reason to reform your faith. We also need the development of your capital to be 5, and if you click on it, you'll see it's only 4 right now. And this is why I always have my steward developing my capital. But the hardest thing is to have 70% of all the innovations. That's the innovations over here, and you need at least 10 of them. And the game only starts with 6. And if Onager takes at least 86 years, you can see why playing tall is going to take a long time. To help speed that along, you want to go down the learning tree and go for the scientific perk and get as much learning as possible, as it increases the chance, and it even reminds you down here that this is the stat relevant to this. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed what you see, please consider subscribing and liking this video. It helps me tremendously, so thank you so much. You can check out my channel for the follow-up playthrough and other guides. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions or want to see a specific topic discussed. Thanks again from BreadGod, and hope you have a good day.